Hi, everyone. Welcome to Habitat Now, Habitat's original video podcast. My name is Dusty, and today in the studio with us is longtime volunteer and a good friend of ours, Janis Raynak. Janis, thank you for being here.
Hey, Dusty. Thanks for having me. Always love to talk about Habitat.
This is fun. Janis, you've been volunteering with Habitat for a long time now. Can you tell us how you got started volunteering with Habitat? What was that like?
Wow, well, there's a lot of different segments to that. Many years ago, I was a board member for an organization called Youth Evaluation and Treatment Centers.
Okay.
And we went out and we actually did a build down in South Mountain. That's how long ago that was. Then actually through my husband's church, they were doing the 3-story condos out in Tempe. So did a lot of work on those. But then one of my good friends knew the then CEO, Jason Barlow, and I said, I'd really like to do more for Habitat. Can I get a meeting with him? And he and I met for a cup of coffee that lasted like 3 or 4 hours.
Yes.
And I just told him about my passion for the mission, but that doing the hard labor was getting a little bit rough, and I still wanted to do it, but was there any other way I could contribute? And he ended up recommending me to the Family Selection Committee and also to the Family Partner Committee, and I've been serving on those now, I'm guessing about 8-9 years.
So now kind of the best part is you get to work with the families in our program. Tell us what being a family partner is, what's involved, and how that works.
Sure. Being a family partner is probably the best part of Habitat because you get to really take somebody from having a dream to seeing a dream come true.
Right.
I mean, when in life do we get to do that? So my journey oftentimes with these families starts with our Family Selection Committee, where our great staff here does an initial underwriting of the applications, and they find families that meet our criteria. They have to have an ability to pay, willingness to partner, and they also have to demonstrate a need for our services. We need an ability to pay because a lot of people think we give our houses away, which we don't. We
Right.
do have a mortgage, but it's an interest-free mortgage, and we're not requiring a down payment other than sweat equity, which is accomplished through 400 hours of work. And once they are approved by our committee, then we assign them a family partner. And as a family partner, what you do is you really are just a support for them. And oftentimes it turns out being an advocate for them, usually just in a supportive way. So
Sure.
they've got many obligations throughout the process. They have classes they're required to take. They have meetings here at Habitat, orientation, home ownership, those kind of things. We need to make sure they meet those requirements. So we need to make sure they understand the resources available, like our Restore, as well as let them know that they're expected to be on their job site every weekend because the many wonderful volunteers that come out to help them want to meet them.
Yeah, they want to meet the family for
And
sure.
they're wearing their shirt that goes Future Homeowner, and it's really honestly just a love fest on the job site with the homeowners, and so fun for them. And so as a family partner, you just get to, kind of rah-rah them through it. Just keep in touch with them. How's the family doing? Are you having trouble getting some friends? Because every potential homeowner can have 5 people on the job site getting hours toward those 400.
Yeah.
And eventually, if they've been nice to me, I can donate some of my hours to them as well. But
Nice.
it's just a wonderful experience. And then at the end of it, meaning when the house is done, we have a dedication, and you get up and and usually quite a few people show up, and you get to introduce this family that has now just received like an amazing experience.
Yeah, it's incredible that you get to encourage, empower, and equip these families and help them build their own house. I mean, who builds their own house anymore, right?
So
It's
cool.
Great to be a part of that.
Yeah.
So, Janis, with working all these families through the year, is there any story or any certain family that jumps out, one story that's a favorite, or it impacted you in a way that you could share with our viewers?
Well, there's so many, honestly. Every family is just so far been a delight. I guess if I had to pick one story that resonated with me, it would be a family I had. They had left their refugee camp, and now they were on track to get a home. How cool is that? But that is a house I went out to the job site every week, and they were so stinking sweet, all of them. Even though, I couldn't really talk their language or them mine, we communicated beautifully. And one day after the job site closed and all the volunteers had left and the staff had left, we were probably about 3/4 of the way done with the house. So the walls are up, we'd put the drywall on, but the floor was still bare concrete. And I sat on the floor with the mom, who spoke no English, but she had just made a visit back to her where she had lived, and she had a ton of pictures, and we probably sat there for over an hour. I have no idea how we were communicating, because we were laughing, and I just kept telling her how beautiful she was, and it was just an amazing bonding experience. Now, I have to say, me personally, I do not stay in touch with the families after they get their house. Partly I believe, this is their new life and I'm part of their old life. And it's too many people at this point, honestly. But I know a lot of family partners do, and those are lifelong friendships, which is another real benefit people can get from participating in this activity.
Well, you're a critical part of giving them a hand up, as we call it. So we appreciate that. So Janis, is there anything else you want to share with our viewers before we wrap up today?
I love Habitat. I love Habitat. I can't even tell you how much I love Habitat. And there's just so many different ways to help Habitat and get involved. I just think it's such a dream come true in such a material, meaningful way. And when you have a place that you feel secure in and the rent's not going to go up, you now have a foundation for a life that is going to be good.
Yeah.
And the people that have something like that, I have found they rise to the occasion. And so I can't even imagine of an organization that is more impactful than giving somebody the security of a place to live.
Well, thank you for saying that. And thank you not just for being here today and sharing all that, but for years of service in so many different roles, for working with the families that come through the program and giving them a hand up. It's just, it's fun, and we get to do this, right?
Yeah, it's my joy and my pleasure, that's for sure.
Well, thank you again for being here today.
Thank you, Dusty.
That's it for today. We really appreciate you taking the time to tune in. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to get involved, maybe you're watching in another state, we would encourage you to reach out to your local Habitat affiliate, see how you can help. You can donate, volunteer, get involved with some of the families, swing a hammer, paintbrush. It's really up to you, and we would encourage you to do that. Something else you could do for us, if you would subscribe to this podcast, turn on the notifications, like this podcast, and share it out with the people you know and care about. That would mean so much to us. If you have questions, you can drop those in the comments, and we'll see you next time on Habitat Now.